Thank you very much. So let's start our final lecture. Today topic is branding and the importance of branding. And a little bit we will continue the yesterday part, the consumer behavior, and we will follow a little bit with color psychology. It's my other favorite topic. So you can see the content here. So we will speak about the importance of branding. I would like to show to you the Acre brand equity model. I'm sure that you know it, but in case of branding, we always have to associate to Acre's model. And then the color psychology and the branding and the brand histories are coming. And today we won't play Kahoot. Instead of Kahoot, we will play a brand recognition game. So that will be our final game. Today I also use this book, and in case of the color psychology, today I use Hungarian sources, but there are lots of English sources. So when you search on the Google that color psychology, you will find everything. So from the book, I put here the definition of branding. So a brand can be a name, a term, a design, a color, a symbol, anything that identify our product and differentiate our product from other sellers' product, from the competitor's product. Brand nowadays means a really valuable assets for a company. And that's why it's so important to choose a color, to choose a logo, to choose a symbol, because people will associate to that product, people will associate to that company, and in case we can build brand loyalty. Yesterday, we closed our session with satisfaction. We have spoken about it. When we got more what we expected, then we will be satisfied. When we are satisfied, we will go to buy again, to buy that in that shop. We will go to buy that brand again. A kind of brand loyalty is started to begin. And when we are loyal, we will be a sure customer of that shops. So that's why is it important for the companies to have loyal customers. And this is the Acres brand equity model. The importance in this 5-part. So there is a so-called pursuit quality, what we feel. So we use the product and we have this pursuit quality. We will feel how good is it or what's the problem with that. Brand awareness, that do we know that brand? Do we recognize that brand again? It means an awareness. And there is a kind of first awareness. It means when I'm asking you, please tell me some washing powder brands. That will be the first awareness. There will be the second awareness when I will ask you that, do you know this and this brand of washing powder? Okay, so it has two kinds. There is a so-called brand association. We have spoken a lot about association. So when I'm saying Coca-Cola, maybe you will associate to the red and white color. Maybe you will associate to Santa Claus. Maybe you will associate to Christmas, to the music. Okay, that is the association, what we can recognize and what we can think. Brand loyalty, we are loyal when we buy that brand again. And there is the two kinds of brand loyalty. When we buy always the same, and the other kind of is the quasi brand loyalty. It means we choose always from the same 4 or 5 brands. Okay, for example, this is the case in case of mineral waters. We are not always by the same brand. Maybe sometimes we change. And there is another kind of brand assets. I will speak about it later. Why this brand equity model is important? Brands mean a value for the customers. It's yesterday we have spoken the information gathering process, the buying process. And in case of information, brand is an information itself. Of course, it will make influences on our purchase decision and in our satisfaction too. This was in case of the consumer markets. And in case of the B2B markets, I think you have heard that these markets are really different. I mean, the relationships between two companies are really important. So, in case of companies buying, for example, when we buy an expensive machine, it's really important that we have to trust in the supplier. So that's why the brand, for example, in case of a expensive machine, is really important, and the loyalty is important too. So it's different in case of B2B market. Here you can see this model again. So let's start one by one. So here is the brand loyalty first. With the brand loyalty, we can reduce the marketing costs. Why? Because we do not need as much as marketing in case of a famous brand. For example, in case of Nivea, we can see some Nivea advertisement nowadays too, but everyone knows the brand. Nivea makes advertisement only because they wanted to emphasize they are still in the market after 100 years. Okay, so brand loyalty can attract new customers, we can create an awareness, and it means really competitive threats, the brand loyalty. Brand awareness, it's an anchor to reach others. It can be an association, familiarity, linking. So this is the awareness things. There is the perceived quality, what we feel when we use it. We will feel the price and the quality ratio. That is it worth that product to buy or not? The perceived quality differentiate the products from the competitors. And it can be an extension too. And there is a so-called of brand association. It's an information too. We can create a positive feedback in our customer's head. And it can mean an extension too. And other property brand assets, for example, a competitive advantage. And why is it important? It will be in the last part, provides value to customers, to enhancing the customers, and provides value to the firms, provides efficiency value, provides a price competitiveness, provides a brand extension. So that's why is it important. So summarizing this brand equity model, we can emphasize that brand can really mean a competitive advantage nowadays. And that's why is it so important. I write here to you one by one. So brand awareness, from where do we know the brand? Which was the first time when we met that brand? I'm sure that now you can understand brand loyalty further and the pursuit quality. Here will be a little bit summarization. If you forget, you can come back here and you can realize it. And this is the branding strategy. So that's why is it important at how to make a branding strategy. The first important thing is the positioning. Yesterday, I showed two examples to the segmentation. We have spoken about the Nivea company's segmentation, and we have spoken about an Austrian Airlines, some airlines company's segmentation. The positioning means to whom I would like to sell. So there is an STP model. It means segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So when we have the segments, these will be our target groups, and we have to positioning the product to them. How can we make a positioning? With marketing communication, with branding, with sales. And that's why it's so important to know the product's attributes, to know the benefits of each segment, why that segments use that product, what kind of advantages do they have when they use that product. And we have to really know their beliefs and their values. And then we have to select the name. So maybe, to tell you the truth, I think it's not easy to say Coca-Cola. Okay, so I know today we can say that it was a good choice, but as the first time, I think it's really hard to say. So the brand name is always important. In case of an international brand, it's important that how other nations can pronounce that name. For example, we have a French supermarket chain here. Its name is Auchan, and most of the people say ocean, but it's a French word, but no one's teach us to pronounce. So that's why most people say it in a wrong way. So the brand name is that's why really important. What is a good brand name? Which is very simple, which we won't forget. That is a good brand name. And then there will be the brand sponsorship, the manufacturer's brand. What are the private brands? The commercial brands. In all supermarket chains, there is a so-called private labeled brands. What does it mean? They have their own brands, and that commodities are usually cheaper. It's good quality too, but cheaper because they can buy it from the supplier in a big amount. And usually the packaging is simpler because the company package it, and that's why it can be cheaper. In the brand sponsorship, here is the so-called licensing and co-branding. Licensing, unfortunately, here in Hungary, lots of TV program is a licensed one. Why I said it's unfortunately? Because usually it's not so good TV programs. For example, now I don't know, maybe you have the same program in Russia. Now there is a Dancing Star licensing TV series on Saturday nights. They make a big show, but to tell you the truth, it's really boring. And I can see that the same series goes in Germany with the German stars, in Italy with the Italian stars. So in case of licensing, you always have to think of this TV series, these live shows. And co-branding, for example, when two companies make one brand or making a brand umbrellas. And then there is a so-called brand development. So we can extend the line. For example, the different fragrance of a soap. It's a line extension. We can make a brand extension, a multi-brands and the new brands. And I will show it later. So these are the steps of making a brand strategy. And now we start my favorite part, the color psychology. We will speak about the color one by one. And it's not accidentally that which color do you use today. So do you choose in the morning when you get dressed? So it's every color has a different meaning, and we will speak about it. So on this figure you can see that red means an exciting, orange it's a friendly, cheerful way, yellow is always an optimistic way, green is a peaceful, blue is dependable, and the purple is creative. So these colors play really a prominent role in our lives. What does it mean? Because at first, when we choose a product, we see the design. Not we cannot try it, we cannot eat it. We always choose according to the design or the brand, and that's why is it so important to us. And you won't believe me, but men and women color preference are different. So men usually likes brighter colors, women likes softer colors. So you can see here the same colors, but the brighter ones are the men and the softer ones are the women's colors. So it was interesting for me because I didn't know it. And here you can find how effective can be the colors and why is it important. 85% of customers decide based on the color of the product because we can see only the color. We cannot use it, we cannot taste it. When we buy it, after we can try it. Okay, so that's why it's so important. In 93% of our purchases, we make our decision based on the appearance of the good. So the outside of the good, the packaging, how well designed is the packaging. 80% of shoppers believe that color helps in brand recognition. For example, it's interesting the choice of Coca-Cola and the choosing of red. Red means bad things. For example, in case of driving, in case of walking, red means that stop, please. And Coca-Cola was in the first companies who used the red color. So it was an interesting choose, I think. 55% of us don't go back once again to the store that isn't tastefully decorated. What does it mean? It means that it's really important for us where we shops, for example, food, that shops should be clean, that shops should be well lightened, and the colors are really important, and the smells too. There is a kind of smell marketing too. 42% of people from an opinion about a web store based on the design of the website. So in case of the online shopping, the colors has meaningful, and I will show it later that why they use that color and which is good to use in case of a web shop. And if we enter to the business, that we make a judgment about the environment in the first 90 seconds. And in this 90 seconds, we can recognize the colors. And that's why it plays a really important role. Okay. So that is why it's important. And let's start with the first color, with the red. I choose a red rose to this. Red means exciting, adventurous. It's a strong color. It means a friendly and a dynamic way. And of course, it symbolizes love and passion. So that's why they choose the symbol of love. Red has a stimulating effect and an energizing effect. So it's a very strong color. And it's an alert color. What does it mean? That it draws the attention for something. That's why in the traffic we use red. Red can increase enthusiasm, and it raises blood pressure, breathing, heart rate, and maybe that's why it's the color of the love. Red is encouraging action, and it increases self confidence. And it's really interesting that large global companies really preferred this red color because it's a very effective color in marketing. It has emotional effects. It increase appetite and increase the passion. And that's why it's increasing the appetite, the big fast food chain as McDonald's. Let's see the last point. They use this red color because you will eat more if the symbol is red in case of McDonald's, KFC, and in case of the other companies, that it's increase our appetite and we eat more, we buy more than as it would be, for example, blue. And to tell you the truth, it means a sense of urgency. So it's an urgent color. It's urgent our activity. It's inspire our activity to make something. And that's why in case of online shopping, in case of web shops, it's a really good choice when we wanted to make a time limited advertisement that you can buy this pen for in the 24 hours. And it's a really good alert, the red color. And to tell you the truth, so we have spoken that it's increased the heart rate. So it has a very incentive effect, a very promotional effect on our buyings. So maybe we will make a buying decision, we will buy that things, or we will buy more. And it also associated the red color with survivor, with vigilance, and with security. And as I told you, that's this restaurant change. That's what happened. Okay, what else? What curiosities should we know about red? So yes, in the rainbow, the top bar is red, and red is the very first color you lose sight when it's getting dark. So when it started to getting dark, we won't see the red, and this will be the first color which we won't see. Red has the longest wavelengths, and it's interesting. According to the Feng Shui and according to the Asian culture, it means luck. So they make some symbols to the front door. Sometimes they paint the whole door red, but sometimes they make just a tiny symbol of on the door, and it means well-being, to be happy, to be lucky. And the bees cannot see the red color, and that's why the red flowers will be pollinated by the birds, by the bats and by the butterflies or the wind, but not by the bees because they cannot see it. Red is an eye-catching color and encouraging actions. And so usually when there is a discount in the shops or when there is a discount on the web shops or on the advertisement, they like to use the red color. And the red is worldwide the color of the communist and socialist parties. And how I mentioned, the fast food industry use this color because it's increase our appetite. This information was shocking for me either. And last but not least, red cars are stolen more often. So red is a very intensive color, and that's why they stole more of these cars. And one more things. So I learned business ethics, and in the business ethics, it's banned to go to a meeting in red because it's so intensive color. So maybe I cannot make a business because I'm in red and I will be dominant there. So that's why I cannot be in red when I go to a meeting. And the green is the opposite. When I go to green, there will be never make a business because green is the nature. It's a very peaceful color. We won't make any business when we go to green. So businessmen usually don't choose the red or the green when they have a meeting or when they have an important business task. Oh, and you can see here the red colors. Sorry, I left it Hungarian. Hungarian red is piros. So you can see here Coca-Cola, for example, the Swiss airplane company, the Disney is also red, the Toyota company, the Virgin, the Puma, and big TV channels, CNN, BBC, the Mitsubishi, the Japanese car, the Canon, so YouTube. So nowadays you can see lots of red colors. But earlier only the Coca-Cola starts this red color. And then, do you have any question about red?
No, thank you.
Okay, then we go to the orange. So orange is a little bit friendlier than red. It's a warm color too. It means reliability, and it's rise our caution when there is a problem. For example, it's very close to red, but it's a better color. I mean, it's a more sensitive color. Uh, it's so interesting that there are two different. One people love orange and the others really hate orange. Okay, so we have really many positive or negative feelings with this color. So somebody likes it, somebody use it, but the others will avoid this color. And orange stimulates activity too. We can see it in the nature. For example, in case of the sun, sometimes you can see this orange color. And you have to know that nowadays it's important because it strengthened our immune system. So it's very good, and it's increased our appetite again. So that's why in the McDonald's logo there is red and yellow, and we can see it as a kind of orange sometimes, and it's increased appetite, and it's promote the socialization. And the orange color, it's increase our happiness, our cheerful, and it means a confident brand. So it's a very good choice when we start a new brand. So it means enthusiasm, it means warmth, it means excitement and urge our caution. And it triggers aggression and encourages customers to take an action. So that's why you can see it in the fourth point that in case of online marketing, usually the sign up button or the register button, it's usually orange because it lead to higher conversion. Conversion is the online shopping. So all online shopping, all online buying, purchasing, we say it in the digital marketing, it's a conversion. Okay, it's almost the same. So that's why it's really good to use in the home pages because it's make more shoppings. And to tell you the truth, it encourages immediate action, as red encourages immediate action too, but orange also. And it encourages the exercise, the competition, the confidence. And this color strengthened the team spirit. So it means an optimistic emotion. And that's why in many sports, teams use this orange in their logo or in their jersey, in their t-shirts, because it's increase the performance of the sportmans. And according to the psychology, orange mean an affordability commodity. We can buy it, and that's why usually the coupon pages are orange. And orange is a cheap color, black is an expensive, so for black we have to use more paintings, and that's why they advertisement specialists really like to use orange. So that's why you can see in the advertisement lots of orange color. So I think that's for all what I wanted to say. Yes, I have already tell the last point that it's a dislike or like color. What should we know about the orange? It's a secondary warning, so it's alarm moths when there is a caution. Orange is the color of the Netherlands and of the Dutch royal family. It's encouraging action, so that's why remember back that we always use it in the web shops, in the sign up button, the subscribing button. And in the last point you can see it when you feel your garden is too big, you can plant orange flowers because the orange narrow down the space, and usually that's why people use it for decoration effects. And you can see the orange logos here. So Fanta is the first which I should associate. It's a Coca-Cola company's product. And the Harley Davidson, there is also an orange color. Maybe the MasterCard is well known. So in the MasterCard, there is red and orange. Do you have any question about the orange color?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Let's go to the yellow. Yellow is a very cheerful and very loving color. We can see it in the nature, so the sun is belongs to here too. It means warmth, it means energy, it means healthy. So the yellow color stimulates our nerve system very much, and it means a mental process. And the color means an optimism, it means a happiness. And you have to know that the yellow color is encourages the communication. So people rather starts communication when somebody wear yellow, and it inspires our creativity and activates our memory. We can make a better concentration when we see yellow, and it means a positive future, a positive feedback. So it's really a very optimistic color, and you have to know it that the yellow attracts the eye, and that's why companies usually use yellow, for example with blue in the logo, for example in IKEA or there is a supply chain here, the metro company where we can buy a supermarket chain here, it's also yellow, or the two German company in the logo of Aldi and Lidl, it's a supermarket chain too, that is yellow. And very interesting in case of babies, let's see this fifth point. So yellow is the first color what babies recognize. And that's why lots of baby toys are yellow, because company use it and companies produce the baby toys in yellows. And yellow, too much yellow is not good. Okay, so too much yellow means anxiety. So we have to keep the balance. So it's not a good idea to paint our room to an intensive yellow, because it will be too much for our brain, it will be too much for our nerving system. And yellow is also a warning color. For example, when there is a slippery floor, then usually the caution is with the yellow and black. And it means very tied to closely tied to memories. So what does it mean? That's why I mentioned to you that do not paint the whole wall, the whole room to yellow, because it would be so intensive. And it's interesting that we very rarely buy yellow clothes. So it's not so common to wear yellow, to buy color things, because we don't have any positive memories to this color. Okay, because it's a very seldom color. And there are some curiosity about this yellow. So in France, in the 10th century, the doors were painted yellow, the doors of traitors and the doors of criminals. So it was a caution that do not enter there. And in Greece, the yellow is a color of sadness. And in France and in Hungary, it's a color of envy. Does yellow has any special meaning in the Russian culture, or it's no special meaning?
I don't know about special meaning, but I don't know. My mother usually say that the yellow is the color of leadership,
Oh,
kind of that. Yes.
I see. I see. Thank you.
Like
Thank you.
Rosneft. Rosneft loves this color, yellow.
Yeah,
Oh, I
big
see.
companies like, yeah.
I see. And in case of the pencils, that in America, more than 75% of the pencils they sold are yellows. So pencils usually yellows. Yes, we have speak this that we have spoken it that this is the first color that babies realize, but we it mustn't to paint the baby's room to yellow, because the babies start to cry more easily because it's too much for them. And the car races and the pilots are alerted by a yellow flag. For example, in Formula One 2, yellow flag has a special meaning. And you can see here the logos. That's how I mentioned IKEA, that they usually combine it with blue, and the Nikon and McDonald's is here, the Shell petrol station, DHL, it's a German post company, the National Geographic Channel, for example, or the the Subway fast food chain. These are all yellow, or the Caterpillar. So these are the yellow logos. And let's go to the green. Green has a very calm effect. That's why I'll tell to you that green is not the best choice when you go to a business meeting, because you won't make a deal when you go in green, and you won't make a deal when you go in red. So it's a sedative effect, it has a calm effect, and it gives a feeling of harmony, because in the nature we can see this color, and in the nature we can feel the peace, and it symbolizes the health, and it symbolizes the calm. And the dark green is a very masculine color, it's a conservative one, and it means prosperous. And after the blue, green is the most popular color in case of people. So it's a very like color in case of people. Many people has the favorite color is green. So it's because of the nature, and the interior designer likes to use this color because of its calm effect. And some interesting things. So this green color is related to nature, to health, to calm. And there is a really big relationship with the nature. So that's why, for example, environmental friendly companies or companies who has a connection with environment, they use green as basic colors in their logos. So the green itself express a kind of environmental consciousness, environmental awareness things. And because of its calming power, usually in the room of the hospitals or the doctor's dress, they wear something green, or the wall sometimes painted besides the white, painted to green in the hospitals, because it's even reduced the depression, and it's reduced the anxiety of the patient. And usually some stores use this color because of its calm effect. Why is it important when we shopping to be calm? What happens when we are calm in case of shopping? We will buy more. For example, that's the danger in case of online shopping. We are at home and it's a very comfortable shopping, and maybe we will buy more. It's the same when you go to shop when you are hungry. You will buy every food. And when you go home, you will be nervous that how much things did you buy? I cannot eat it because I am full. So it's the same effect. And the color, the green is really next to the orange. So it's in case of online shoppings, when there is a green button, it usually means a call for an action. So it's a very fashionable, very popular color either. And what should we know about the green? For example, Libya's flag is green, and that is the only national flag which is use one color, that is green. And green is a very noticeable and distinguishable color for our eyes. And that's why usually companies use it in their logos. And yes, I told about the workers that in the green environment are less likely to complain of any pain, of stomach pain or abdominal pain. And in the 15th century, this color was the wedding dress because green means a healthy color, it means fertility. And that's why the bride used it as wedding colors. And I already mentioned that in hospitals, we often use this color because it's calm down the patients. And that's why it is important. And you can see here the Starbucks logo, for example, the Carlsberg beer, the Spotify, the music application, the Land Rover, the Animal Planet channels. So these logos are green. The BP petrol station, I think you know it. And let's go further. Let's go to blue. Blue is I think, the most popular color. So the most people favorite color is blue. Blue, we always have blue in the nature. The sky is blue, the waters are blue, so the ocean is blue, and it really exudes the peace. So in case of also chemical companies, they they use this color. For example, Nivea use this color, and this color is often used in the bedroom because it's a calm things too, a calm color. And you won't believe me, but blue increased the work efficiency, and it supports our intuition. It's a cold color, so while red and orange and yellow were warm colors, blue usually means a cold color, and it means a reliability. It means a commitment. So when we would like to make loyalty, brand loyalty, it's a really good choice to choose blue. So yes, it's in the last point you can see here that it's really an offerable color when you go to a job interview. So that's why nowadays it's so fashionable to wear blue, to go in blue. Let's go further. I don't know what's happening. Are you here? Can you hear me? Okay, yes.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what's the problem now here. Okay, so blue means a trust, it means a loyalty, it means a calm. Sorry, some technical issue. I cannot see the
It is
PPT.
so interesting. Thank you.
Yes. Oh,
It is interesting, very interesting.
oh, so good. I try to go back to my PPT. I don't know where is it. Yes, because after this class, you can use these colors consciously. So you will know what color, what does it mean, and you can prepare for a meeting. You can prepare anything for in your life. So I hope. I don't know what's happening. So
I
for this,
know.
Well, but
yes, Sid,
please
please.
continue.
I
No,
will.
I know that.
Ladies first, ladies.
Thank you. I know that colors are used in behavioral economics. It is very,
Yes.
it is very big method to manage of also of attention, of personal attention.
I hope it will come back. If not, then I will use another computer. I don't know what's happening with my computer. Sorry for this. Maybe I need some minutes.
Don't worry. We can wait a little.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what's happening. I try to restart the computer. I'm coming back. Then collect your questions, dear students. I'm coming back. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, waiting. Will we have similar lectures in the next semester?
I hope we can do it. Do you want to see it? The continue?
Of course, they're fun and interesting.
Good. Maria, do you want to say something?
I'm here.
I cannot see you.
Just a second.
Oh, my
Who are
dear.
you?
Oh, wow. Finally, finally.
How are you? Our dear
fine.
teachers.
I'm fine, thank you. I have
Okay.
a very interesting
I'm
test.
here again. Sorry, I'm here again with my husband's account.
Oh,
So,
Oh.
Sophia, would you please open my lecture? Because on this computer, there is none of my lecture. I make something. This computer started to restart itself and make something. So, Sophia, can you open my lecture, please?
Send it on my email.
Yes, yes, I sent it, I guess.
Okay, if it's on my email, I can.
I'm sorry for this, but I don't know when I sent it. I sent it together with the yesterday one, I guess.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Thank
Wait.
you, and sorry for this. It's very inconvenient. Oh, I have it. Okay, I found the email. Okay, I can make it.
Okay.
Thank you. I download it and I will have it. So, dear student, do you have any question till now? In case of the different
Uh,
colors?
Well, I have some.
Tell me, Sid.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's about various shades. Like, so for what you said and explained until now is more general. Like, red can be red can have different shades, and how do different shades affect our perception and the way we behave? So it's same for blue, it's same for green. Like there are various shades, and do shades matter?
Yes, yes. Okay, I think, Sid, I finished the colors and then we will speak this question. Okay.
Okay.
I will finish the colors. So we will be here in case of blue.
Yeah.
Yes, we will here. Yes. Okay. So blue is used by famous social media companies. That's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, for example. And it's increased productivity, how I mentioned. And
Skype. Skype,
yes.
Zoom.
Skype, Zoom, very good. Yes, because it's in
Yes.
communication too. And that's why it's a preferred color in case of offices. So the big banks, for example, use this color, the American Express. And for example, in Hungary, the biggest Hungarian bank is green because of its calming effect. When we wanted to make some bank business, we have to stay calm. Okay, so
They have the biggest bank is a green color. So
yes, yes, you too.
another
I see.
one is blue, red, different colors.
I see. And to tell you the truth, it's not advisable to use blue in case of food because blue, or so earlier we can associate it in case of blue to poisoning and to poison the food, because we have a very seldom blue, very few blue foods. For example, I can mention only the blueberries and the blue plums, so there are not much. So that's why when we make a diet, the diet company usually like to use the blue because it's decrease the appetite. So the red increase our appetite, while the other hand, the blue decrease it. So it's a very good choice in case of a diet. And we have emotional effect. So it's a color of reliability. And you can see here, it's not a gender specific colors. So women, men, rural likes the blue. So blue is one of the most commonly used color in the toothpaste manufacturing. And you won't believe, but the owl is the only bird who can see the blue. Other birds cannot see the blue. And I mentioned that in a blue room, we are more efficient in case of work. And yes, in the next point, maybe now I understand why mosquitoes loves me, because the mosquitoes are attracted by blue twice as much as that any other colors. So maybe that's my problem with the mosquitoes. Yes, I mentioned it reduced the appetite, and in the office colors, it's a likely color to use. It suggests a reliability, a safety, and the last point, it's very interesting that the weightlifter can lift more when the gym is painted blue. And here you can find the blue logos that the American Express company, the Dell, so lots of computers, the HP, you mentioned very well, Skype, Oral-B, so the toothpaste and the tooth machine, IBM computer, Intel, Oreo. So these are the mains which I wanted to mention to you. And now go further to the purple. Purple is a color of king. So it means a power, it means a prosperity, a luxury. It's a very feminine and a very romantic color, and it's very rare in the nature. So it's a kind of artistic color we can see. And the purple embodies the harmony between the dynamism of red and the calm, the serenity of the blue. This color is between them, so that's why it has a special meaning. And purple increases the creativeness of the people, and it mind the nerves, so it's calm down the mind, calm down the nerves. So it's a very efficient color and encourages creativity. And purple is a color of wisdom, of a color of success, wealth, of a color of luxury in the psychology. So that's why in marketing that luxury brands use this purple. And it has also a calming effect. So in case of women creams, in case of anti-aging beauty products, in case of anti-wrinkle creams, they really like to use the purple and they really like to use the blue. Purple is a kind of luxury color, so that's why the most expensive products, most expensive cosmetic products will be some purple in it. And it's no coincidence that the rulers centuries ago, the color of the cloak was also often purple, and it expressed their power. Okay, so that's why it's good to use purple. And it's here that Caesar's favorite color was purple, and the first man-made paint was also purple. And don't forget the packaging cream, so it's purple. And in Thailand, the widows who are mourning their husbands, they are in purple. And the purple is the highest value in the poker game. And the first brand which I am associated to, it was the Milka brand. So I think for this chocolate company, it was a very good choice to use purple, because the purple is really seldom in case of the food. And Cadbury is purple too, the Yahoo, the FedEx, so there are less purple color. And from purple, let's go to the pink. It's very interesting. After the class, you can search on pink text. So what is in pink? It's usually more expensive, only because it's pink. Pink is a cheerful, a useful color, not so aggressive than the red. So that's why in case of toys, in case of children toys, in case of girls, children toys, they usually like this pink. Pink means a romance. So it increases the blood pressure and the heart rate and encourages the action. And on the other hand, pale pink has a calming effect. And some curiosity about pink. So the first point is very interesting. So in case of male weightlifter, it's not good to make some exercise in a pink room, because the strengths will be decreased. But on the other hand, women's strengths will be increasing when they make exercises in a pink room. So it's very interesting. Okay, so usually the room of the guest teams are painted pale pink to lose their energy before an important match. And the cookies, it's interesting that the cookies, which is in a pink box, are more fashionable, and we eat it. I mean, we feel it tastier if it's in a pink box, because we wanted to eat more and more sugar. It's only the case in case of sweeties. And another interesting things that Chinese do not use this color. They do not know this color. In Chinese, this color, its name is Fanse, and Fanse means foreign color. So it was a color of a Western culture, they think. And you can see here the pink logos, the Dunkin' Donuts, the Barbie, the Hello Kitty, Japanese brands. So these are the pinks. Let's go to the brown. Brown means a kind of stability, reliability, availability. So it's a color of the motherhood, the color of the care. It's a color of the natural things. So usually the organic farming products are used in this logo. It's a very neutral logo, and it has a harmonizing effect. So the Japanese have no word for brown. So they say instead of brown, a tea color, fox color, autumn leaf color. So they say it. And in India, it's they associate to the dead leaf. So it's the color of morning. And for the American Indians, it was a color of self-discipline. And it's interesting, if we drive a brown car, then I tell the world that I'm a people who are walking on the ground with 2 feet. So I'm very rational people. And you can see here the logos, Louis Vuitton, Cotton, and the M&Ms, the chocolates. Or for example, the UPS post is brown again. And let's go to the white. White means neutrality, morality, or peace. So it symbolizes the purity. So that's why doctors wear usually white. And that's why the bride's dress is white too. What color do you use in case of the wedding? So what's the traditional color used in case of wedding in Russia?
The white color.
The white, so it's the same. Yes, yes. Okay, so white always symbolizing a new beginning, and it's very interesting. It expands the space. So that's why lots of people like white walls, because it's increased the space. When we have a tiny room, we can increase the space with white. And there are some curiosity about white. So the dreamers say white refers to the happiness of a home. So it's a symbolizing things. And the t-shirts, the most t-shirts sells in the world is white. So that is the most fashionable, most common t-shirts color. And in Japan, the white is the symbol of the death. So it not every culture means the same. And of course, we cannot use white alone. So usually we combine some colors in Tesla, in the Mini Cooper, in the North Face logos. So we use it with other colors. And let's see the opposite, the black. Black is a very strong color, and it's said to be an elegant color. And in the Western culture, it's the color of mourning. So we use it for this. And I have to tell about this color that in case of dressing, it's very fashionable, because black makes us to look slimmer, and it's a timeless color. So that's why it means some elegant things. And you can see some interesting fact about black. So do you have any interesting things about black color in case of black cats? So do you have something interesting?
It's something like if you see when the black cat is crossing your road, that means that you will be unlucky probably.
Yes, it's the same in Hungary too. So when the cat's crossing from the right, we have lucky, but when it's crossing from the left, we will be unlucky. So and the black is narrow down the space. So the black box will be looks smaller than the same size of white box, for example. We associate it to the elegant things. So in case of a man's suit, in case of a car, it means elegant things. Okay, so that's why it's a fashionable color nowadays too. And in some logos you can see, okay, there is no pure black logo, but we can see it combining with others. So it's a WWF logo. And the silver and gray is very fashionable nowadays in case of IT companies. Let's think of Apple and the others. So it's a color of intellect, it's a color of knowledge, wisdom, and it's very, very sophisticated color. So it also represents some melancholy, some boredom, and it's conservative color, so a neutral color. That's why it's often used to backgrounds. And if we drive a gray car or a silver car, it gives a message that it's a cool car, it's an elegant car. And yes, it lies between the powerful black and white, so that's why it means a compromisum. And this suggests the neutrality and lends some formality. And that's why you can see here these logos. So more auto brands use silver in the logo. Apple companies also use, and the Nestle company has this. And I collect to you the color of the morning in each culture. So I have told to you that in Europe we wear black when we are mourning. And in Japan and China, just the opposite, so they wear white. In India, we mentioned they wear brown and sometimes white. In Egypt and Burma, the yellow color means the morning. In Ethiopia, the brown one. In Syria, Iran, and Armenia, the blue. The blue symbolizes the sky and the heaven at the same time, so that's why it's the color of morning. In South Africa, it's the red color, and in Thailand, it's the purple one. So it's completely different.
What about Russia?
I don't know. I wanted to ask to you: is it black or
Black, total black.
total black? Yes.
Total black.
Yes. I saw it. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, and I wanted to show this picture. And if you wanted to read more about this color psychology, just Google on it, color psychology. So here's you can find the meaning of the color, and in this picture, the different logos are collected, and you can see that that we have a lots of yellow color and the orange colors. So it's a summarization, and we have more colors, just like a rainbow. So, for example, Google and Windows use and eBay colorful things. It means the diversity that on the Google you can find everything, or in the eBay you can buy everything, for example. Okay, so that's why it's so interesting. In the gray, in the silver, it's a neutral things. You can see here the high-tech company, the big car company. The green was the nature, the blue was the calm, the purple was the wisdom, the creativity. The red was, and now we can see how many red brands do we have: the Kellogg's, the Nintendo, the CNN, the Exxon, lots of red one. And here the orange is a friendly, cheerful one. We will speak about the Amazon brand. I will show it now. And about the optimism. So I think this is a really good summarization. I put here a PPT, so sorry for this. It's Hungarian sources, but you can find lots of sources in English. And in the last PPT, I changed here, so I will come back in a minute. But here is a good. I wanted to show it to you. I found a really good article about Vladimir Putin's wardrobe and what color do they use. I put this homepage to you. So of course Putin has a stylist who can offer him what kind of color does he use, and he really likes to wear the blue. So blue means a calmness, it means an elegance, and yes, if you remember back that I told you that for a job interview, it's a very good choice to go in blue. And the other things was the gray and blue. And you can read this article after the class, and it's very interesting. So the labels are always it's not on his dresses, because they put down the labels. So the brands, you can never see what kind of brands does he use usually. So neutral colors again. So it's a very good articles about him. So I really suggest to read after the class. Okay, so it will be in the last PPT, but I will send it in the chat too. So do you have any question about the colors? So Sid, now I can answer for your question that yes, it was very general information about the colors, and all big brands has an own image and the own history. Why do they use that colors? And now in the next part of the lecture, I will show you some famous brand, how their logo changes and why do they use that color. And I think in the practical part, you will understand it better. So you can Google on it, that the word most valuable brands. So let's think back to Acre brand value, and you can see here that these brands really cost a lot. So in 2019, according to the Forbes, that Apple was the first, so the IT companies are here, and then the Google coming. So you can see it, the first 5 is technology and IT technology. Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and then in the sixth place there is Coca-Cola. In the 7th there is Walt Disney. In the 8th there is Samsung, a competitor of Apple. In the 9th there is Louis Vuitton, and in the 10th there is McDonald's. There is a really good film about McDonald's. Its name is Founder. You can see it now, I think, on the internet. It's a very interesting movie about how to make a franchising. So you tell you the truth, in America, not the McDonald's is the best quality. In America, the market was saturated. And that's why McDonald's go further and goes worldwide, because otherwise it wouldn't be so profitable to McDonald's. So I would like to show this logo evolution to you. So let's start with Apple. In the Isaacson book, which I mentioned to you yesterday, I can read that why he chose this Apple logo, why Steve Jobs wanted to have this logo. Because when he has to choose a logo, he was in a bio apple farm, and he was eating an apple, and that's how so simple and easy came into his head to have this as a logo. So you can see here the evaluation. So we can see it was very, very colorful, and now it's changing. And now we can see that the color of the design of the logos are simpler and simpler nowadays. And you can see here Google. So Google is, that's why it's so colorful, to means diversity, that you can find everything here. And we can say that that from 1998 there were no bigger changes. So it's almost the same. Here in the PPT underneath, everywhere there will be a page, a home page. So you can read more about the Google history. Okay. In case of Microsoft, it was a very colorful, but now we can see it's simpler and simpler. They use black. So black means black and white, means kind of elegant. And now we can see that it's so it started with a very, it's a kind of gray, and now it was a big change in 2012. So it became colorful, and it became more elegant. So we could see that IT company, high-tech company use this silver nowadays. And one of my favorite history is the Amazon. Do you know, dear student, why is this arrow here? What does it mean, this arrow in the logo?
I know.
Tell me, Alina, tell me, please.
It means that we can find all things from A to Z. We can find
Very,
all of all.
yes, very
in
good.
this site.
And another interesting thing that Amazon start with the books. In the books, there was no risk to ordering online. And after the books come all the others. And very well, you know it very well, so you are very good, Alina, that we can buy everything from A to Z. So what is not in Amazon, there is not exist. They usually tell this. Okay. And they use this orange button. So what do we know about the orange? That it encourages the shopping.
It is smile.
Yes,
I think
it's a smiley. Yes,
smile.
very good. Yes, because we are happy when we are shopping. Yes. And then comes the Facebook. So these blue things. At first it was face mesh, and then the Facebook. And now you can see that from 2005, its color is blue and white. Okay. So 1 year ago, it was a big change. So they changed the color, the subscription, the letters became from white to blue. So
Can I ask, please?
Yes.
Why they change, for example, Facebook, why they change the logo? It's almost the same, but what is the idea?
Yes,
What they want?
I think they wanted to make some changes. I really couldn't tell you, Sophia, why. Maybe it's easier to read. Maybe it's more, it represents more powerful if we do not write it with white, because white is a simplicity, white is a purity, and now maybe they wanted to be a little bit more dominant, I can see, but I really don't know the story behind this, Sophia.
Okay, maybe they want to be more modern or something like that.
Yes, I think yes.
Everything changing, so
They wanted to have a better design.
yeah.
And this is very interesting. So the homepage will be here again. So this is the Coca-Cola designing, how it's changing. And we can see that the red is only coming from the 1950s. The letter were the same. Okay. So, and at first they wanted to write cola with key, but next to Coca, the cola with C, it's better and it's easier to pronounce. And you can see here the changes. In 1985, it was only Coke, and in 1987, it was Coca-Cola Coke, and from 1993, it was again Coca-Cola as from the very first time. And Sophia, we can see here the different changing. So it was white here, the letters, and now it's red here. So I think somebody start this new design and then the other follow them. Okay.
They want to be in trend, I think. Yes.
Yes, it's more trendy, more fashionable nowadays, you can see. Walt Disney is my big favorite. So you can see here that the letters, the characters were almost the same as 1937, but at that time it was black and white. And I wanted to ask why, and the answer can be that at that time there were only black and white movies, and Walt Disney was the first who started to make colorful movies, and it was very shocking at that time. It was very new things, and that's how they started to this. And this castle is in Germany, is in the Bayern places. It's Neuschwanstein. I will write it in the chat, and you can Google on it. I show it to you. So Stein. So this castle is existing, which is in the movie. So you can see here. So this is the castle, and from this castle comes this Walt Disney logo. Okay, from this castle.
This is the most beautiful castle that I see.
It's I hope after COVID you can visit it.
Yes, it's my dream.
It's in
Germany. Yes.
places. It's near Salzburg, so it's very close to Salzburg. And the Louis II was built it. He was a big castle builder, and I have been here, and it's very interesting. There is a room here which was originally a cave, so the rocks are there, and he never could finish this castle because he died, and he never could live here. He just built it, so it's a sad story.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yes, so the Walt Disney logo is coming from here. And Samsung means a 3-star in the Korean language. And you can see that at the very beginning, it was red and black. And only from 1993 coming this white and blue. And it's the same changing. So it's the same changing as Facebook, that they change the color of the letters. And here is McDonald's, and let's remember back, we said that red increase our appetite, and yellow means a cheerful things. So that's why they use both this color in their logos. Okay, and we can see they started to use red from 1953. And you can see here, so on every pages, there will be a logo history. So if you are interested for a logo most, you can read more background information. And another ranking, which are the most famous automotive brands? The first brand is the Toyota. So in the world, the most cars is sold is the Toyota. It's a Japanese brand. And I will show it logo. So Mercedes-Benz is German, and BMW is a German car too. Honda is Japanese, Audi is German, Porsche, Chevrolet, Ford, Lexus, and Hyundai is coming here. And I wanted to show to you the Toyota. It's very interesting, Japanese things. So Toyota is the family. Toyoda owns the Toyota company. So the Japanese thinks that they have to change one letter in their family name, and then it means luck. So usually, so that's why in the very first logo it was Toyoda. It's the family name of the owner. And this logo, it couldn't recognizable. So that's why they changed. And nowadays we can see this logo in case of Toyota. And now we can see that it's silver nowadays. This is the Mercedes. It's a sign of a kind of victory. So it was two companies actually, and the two companies that put together and they became one. This is the Mercedes-Benz. And that's why we can read both the two company names in this logo. You can see here more information about their history. And that is the BMW. At the first time it shows, and that's why is it in the logo. I wrote it here. It's an aircraft engine propeller company. So the very first product of this Bayerische Motorenwerke were the aircraft engines, and that's why it's in its logos. Okay, and we can see that these logos do not change a lot. So they only change the color of it. Instead of black, nowadays it's white, which is simpler. And I wanted to show to you the Honda's logo. So in a Guinness book, Honda was recorded as the most conservative logo because there were no changes from 1988. So it's the same. But before that, there were lots of changing. So here they started to use the silver and the white, and it's a wing of a bird because it's so quick, it means. And I put here to you the most valuable restaurant brands. McDonald's is the 10th, Starbucks Coffee is the 37th, KFC and Burger King is here. And let's come here and let's see that in the KFCs there is red again. The Burger King is red again. And I wanted to show to you the changing of the Starbucks logo. At the very first time, they do not know that which will be the leader product. So that's why in the logo there is written the coffee, tea and spices. At that time we could bought spices too in the shops. And from 1987, so there is a mermaid in this logo. And this logo wasn't so good, for example, in case of children. So that's why they changed it. And the hair of the mermaid is coming down here to her breast, because it's a better logo. And you can see that there was a big changing, so they changed the logo to green. And from 1987 there wasn't big changes. Only here was a big changes that nowadays this logo is so well known that they do not have to write that this is Starbucks. They do not have to write that this is a coffee. And this is a good example that it's not a simple logo, so we cannot draw it. We can draw the Nike logo, we can draw the McDonald's logo, but I think we cannot draw exactly the Starbucks logo if we cannot see it. So it's not a simple logo. And here you can find some most valuable retail brands. So the Walmart, Home Depot, and IKEA is here. And I would like to show to you the Swedish IKEA. So Ingvar Kamprad made this company, and he was died, I think, in last year. And from his name is coming this Ingvar Kamprad, the IKEA. And this was the first furniture where you have to put the furniture yourself at home together. So this was the parts, you can buy the parts of it. And it was a really novelty because more table can be transferred in one car than if for example the legs are on the table. So the idea is coming, the business idea from that they produce the first table and they cannot package the table because of the legs, and that's why they put down the legs, and that's how they can make a package. And this was the wholly new concept of them. You can see here the most valuable technological brands. So the IT techniques are here, the technologies. You can see here the most famous alcoholic brands. So there are some beer companies in the first three. You can see here some sport brands. And I really recommend you, there is a very good film about Adidas. Adidas and Puma, the two companies, were made by two brothers. Okay, so Adidas was the family company. It's a German company. Adolf Dassler and Rudolf Dassler make this company, but they have a fight, and that's how they start to make separately two different brands, and that's how Adidas and Puma is coming. And before the question, I would like to play to you. So please make the sounds on and help me recognize the different brands, the different logos.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, very good, yes.
HP.
A famous computer brand.
Samsung.
Very good.
Skype.
Skype.
Starbucks.
Easy, yes.
Nestle.
Nescafe, yes. We have spoken from
Pringles.
this. Pringles, yes, it's a product of the Kellogg's.
Dell.
Dell Computer, very good.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, yes, the film company.
IKEA.
IKEA, yes.
Adidas.
Adidas, very good.
Oral-B.
Oral-B,
Dove.
Dove, yes. And I like in the advertisement that there are really women in the advertisement. So not skinny models, there are really women in there, and they use this brand.
HBO.
HBO, very good. So this film channel.
Ford.
Or
Marlboro.
Marlboro. And that's why I put it here.
Вот и спалились.
Yes, I don't believe it, but let's imagine in the very first cigarette advertisement, it was said to be that cigarettes is healthy for the lungs. You won't believe me, but this was the very first. And you can see advertisements in the Google, that early advertisements, that pregnant women use it too, and children use it too. So it's unbelievable for me and shocking how the first advertisement of Marlboro looks like. But this Marlboro makes the Marlboro Man, and it's a phenomenon. And this,
WWF.
yes, very good. Do you have this supermarket chain? I wasn't sure about this. It's Tesco.
Arc.
It's Tesco. Do you have it? I'm not sure. It's an English
We
supermarket
don't have
chain.
it.
Oh, sorry, then it wasn't a good example.
I think we have in Moscow maybe at Tesco.
Oh, I see. And what about this? It's a
Charlie Chaplin.
It's a whiskey brand.
Oh,
Oh,
сейчас.
William and
William Jones.
It's Johnny Walker.
Yeah, Johnny Walker.
Yes. Acer.
Acer.
Вела.
Bella, very good.
Пиво. Beer.
It's
Schweppes.
Yes.
Ah,
Somebody see. Yes, I show it to you. So this is this is the tonic.
Yes.
And I
Tonic for gin.
Yes. And I wanted to tell you that in America, no one's tried, but they cannot pronounce it well. So they make a spelling competition and they sponsor a spelling competition, and the children and the parents can try the tonic. And this was the big sale effect and the sales promotion, because after this competition, people start to buy the Schweppes because they know how to pronounce it.
Knorr.
Knorr, very good.
Rich.
Zara.
Zara, yes, it's a Spanish brand. And I teach it from international trade that it has a different price in every country. So they ask as much as the consumers are willing to pay for the clothes.
Heineken.
Heineken, okay, you know this.
Visa. DHL.
Very good.
Nestle.
Nestle. And do you know why is this logo has the Nestle? The Nestle company, the very first product was baby feeding products. So not the chocolate was the first. At that time, lots of babies dies because their mom cannot feed them. And Henry Nestle wanted to make a product to help the children. And after he started to think that what should he produce from milk product? And that's how the chocolate idea is coming. So that is why the logo is this, that the bird is feeding the little birds.
Nivea,
Very good.
ACDC,
ACDC,
no, Tic Tac, Tic Tac.
Tic Tac, yes.
Walt
Walt
Disney,
Disney.
Walt Disney,
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Yes, so I put it, that was the game for today. I put here the homepage, and now I stop sharing and I'm coming to you, and please ask your questions. So I would like to answer your questions. So what do you think about this color theology? Will you see the brands from now differently as before the lecture, or what kind of effect do we have?
Yeah, I guess in some basic level, we'll start noticing it. And I have a question about, yeah, you described each color separately, but what about combinations of colors? Do certain combinations of colors have different effect than each color individually has?
Yes, Sid, it's a very good question. So, for example, I teach that because I read it. What is packaging in blue and yellow? We prefer that things. So we buy that things more often. What is in blue and yellow? So some colors have special meanings, and the combination. So usually they like to make combination, for example, with yellow, because it's very nice to combine something with yellow, or that's why it's the same to combine something with white too. We can see in the lots of logos they combine white with blue. They combine it with red. So when we combine the colors, the symbol has the meaning of the two color. Okay, so for example, in case of Facebook, it's a blue, it's a corn, white is a purity. So it can mean a kind of fun because you have a special time, an entertainment it can mean. Do you have some specific question about some logos? Why do they choose that color? Because maybe in case of a practical example, we can understand it better.
I have a funny story about Toyota logo. I know that the Toyota makes different logos for the different models of the cars in Japan. But I don't know why they do that.
Yes, it's a very good question. My husband has been to Japan. It was a business travel, and you won't believe me that there in Japan there are completely different brands than in Russia, than in Europe, and I really like Japanese brands. I really like the Honda. I really like the Toyota. And he couldn't recognize that this is a Toyota because the completely different design are in the Asian market than in the European market. So that's why they changed the brand name too. So I think it's a cultural difference, Maria. I can see it can be a cultural difference maybe.
It's really interesting because you see on the picture something Toyota RAV4, RAV4 or Avensis or something like this. And you know that this is Toyota, but the logo is the different.
Yes, you won't recognize that is a Toyota. It's interesting. So every nation has his own culture. Yesterday we were speaking about the cultural differences in the consumer behavior. So maybe that is why maybe that's why it's different because it's meet the nation's requirement more, I can guess. or they can raise the attention more. I can see this. So maybe these are. Okay, dear students, I put my PPT here too. I put here the Neuschwanstein's castle name to the chat, and I put here the article about Vladimir Putin's wardrobe. So I really suggest to read it. Okay.
Now Vladimir Putin has this good look, just maybe 10 years, 10, maybe 15 years. But before, when he just started his career, he was looking really funny. And
Yes. It's in the article, so maybe he has the same stylist. So it's in the article that his stylists have 10 or 15 years ago. So maybe that's why it's from them. I think it's a different profession, that what to wear, why to wear, and it has a colorful meaning. For example, Sophia, I can see now that you are in red.
Yes.
Only once I wear red in a meeting with my colleagues. I got all the tasks because it seems to me that only I am there in the red. And my boss gave me every task because I was in the red. And he only sees me because of the red. So I never wear red in case of meetings.
Oh, that's why I'm working so hard, because I sometimes paint my hair in red.
Yes, maybe it's your hair. We don't know.
You should think about it, Maria.
I will think about changing
Maybe
my
you should try
hair
another color. So
Yellow.
Yes, some yellow. Yellow, yes. So after the class, now, dear student, you have to look for yourself and think it over, that why do you choose that color? For example, it was very interesting. I very seldom wear black. And in the last lesson, we didn't know that from next week, we should have to make online courses. In the last lesson, 70% of my students in the international trade lesson were black, and they couldn't tell why. So it was so interesting that before they never were black. So it's interesting, our morning mood, that what do we choose and why. It's very interesting. And
I chose these clothes because they are clean. That's all.
sometimes it happens, yes.
Yes, and I wanted to tell to you that in the interior design, so the same car inside, which is light inside, looks bigger than which is black inside. And you can use it in your room. So if you have a little room, you should use the lighting things. So I mean, you should use a white wall because it's increase the space. Or when you have a really big room, you can play with the color because you can shorten the space if you want. So the interior designer really use this color.
No, it's yes. It was really interesting that companies changed their logos, and they changed also colors. So they try one, then they think, let's change it. I never thought about it, why they do it, and I think it has reasons. So it's important.
Yes, and Maria, it's very risky. It's very risky to change because the consumers will associate to the original one, and that's why you can see there are only little changes, not big changes, just very little, because it's a risky thing.
Yeah.
For example, now in Hungary, I can see that some companies are bought from other companies, and they change the brand name. And there are some advertisement that till now we call it this, and from now we call it this. So it's a risky thing to rename a brand too. So we really seldom use it.
Mm-hmm. You should be careful, Maria.
Okay, I will be careful. I will think about it.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions, dear students?
No.
Do you like this color? Things?
I have a question.
Yes.
Um, so it's about perception of colors.
Yes.
Like as you already said that in different countries and different communities, each color represents different things. But is like the general perception of color universal? Like even though there are differences in each community and it's very subjective, is like the perception itself like something more deeper for humans that no matter what significance the color might be in their community or just for that person individually, uh, they will still react in the same way, like as the theory says.
Yes, it's a very good question because there is a different perception between man and woman. I showed it to you. And there is a different perception. So no one sees this pen the same color. So everyone in this group now, we sees it differently because we cannot see it. So our perception is different by one. And see the color, the general color, what it means. For example, the red means stop in the traffic. We learn it. So go back to consumer behavior, and it means our learning, our previous learning. So it's in our learnings that when somebody died, we use black. Otherwise, we do not know this. So these are learning things, and that's why it can be changes by nation because it's a national cultural things, I guess. Sid, was this the question, if you mean?
No. My question is, like if we want to use certain colors to have some kind of effect on another person, um, is I mean, in order to do that, we need to predict what kind of reaction that person will have when seeing that color.
Oh, yes.
So, and when we do that, um, um, is the person's perception, like all the people's perception, universal? Because humans have been seeing colors since time immemorial and reacting to them accordingly. Like it's something very deep in every human, in every human's mind, or and no matter what significance each color has for each individual human. Now, every human will still react more or less the same for each color. Like my question is that, is it something deeper or it's not, it's always on something surface level?
Yes, you ask it maybe, is it a conscious things that it means the same to us or not? I just associate it to the online shops and to the register button or to the sign up button, to the subscription button. I told that these are orange. So for example, orange means generally to raise the caution to something, and that's why they use it. Maybe it's yes, I understand your question, but I cannot answer it well. Maybe it's not. So it's not a conscious things, just we learn it, just how we act, I think. And these colors makes us to make something. So these colors promote us, activate us to make something. So I think in this aspect, the answer is yes. So the advertisement specialist completely know that what color will make what and what kind of activities can a color means. So I think they can use these generally.
It's interesting, actually. The question of Sid's question is, if they think that, for example, yes, orange color works in the same way for almost every person. So then we think about ourselves. We are not change from each other, for example, like that. So,
Yes, yes. So it's a very interesting things. And um, to answer to Sid question, it's again the psychological factor. So it's the psychographical ones, not the part which we can control well. So these are the human being parts of the marketing, and we cannot control it well, to tell you the truth. So it's another science.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
any questions, please? Any comments, maybe?
Yeah, for comments, um, when we were talking about reds and oranges, I immediately remembered Indian culture, because these colors are also quite prominent, especially like even in my room, there's an altar, it's totally red with gold and orange. So yeah, it's quite interesting that um, how various colors represent almost like not almost the same things, but um, there's also like a history behind um, why each color is used in various cultures and nations. Like like for now, like in modern days, if you go to Saudi Arabia wearing orange, they will start lecturing you that it's shirk. But if you go to India wearing orange, everybody will welcome you.
Yes, the same color has different meaning in different cultures. Yes.
Thank
You
you.
for
See,
the comments.
Natalia, you want? We have a hand from Natalia.
Yeah, I have a comment too. You were speaking about yellow color. It represents envy in Greece, right? And
Yes, and
for
in
the
Hungary
English
too.
language, we know that envy is represented by green color. You know, green-eyed envy, and a green-eyed monster is jealousy, and jealousy equals to envy as well. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yes, in Hungary the yellow means envy too. So it's interesting. Yes, but this green is more rational, I think. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was very interesting.
Thank you very much, and I am very grateful, and it was an honorable for me that I can be with you and we can learn together. I hope I start something in the thinking, and you can see the brand and the color and the consumer behavior differently nowadays. So I'm very happy that we can work together.
And you know, the way we try to choose the clothes for different things will maybe change, because once I was wearing something really flashy, like a red dress for a business meeting, but I was not supposed to be there. It was just a case. It wasn't planned. It was not my fault, but I understand that it was I was out of place, you know, in this dress.
Interesting. I have only one red dress, and I wear it sometimes in the theater, and it's too much for me because lots of people are watching at me, and I really feel it's too much. So I only wear it twice, I guess, and it was enough.
So maybe our students want to say something? Because it's time to finish our lecture.
I want to thank Sofia Faroukhan and Maria Alexandrovna and Miss Noemi for hosting these wonderful series of lectures. We were very pleased and pleasantly surprised, and we were very glad having you here and being able to participate in these wonderful talks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sid. I really appreciate your work, and I know it's late and it's a late lecture, a night lecture in case of you, and you were always here in such a great number. So thank you very much, dear student, that you were here. I really appreciate your work, and I would like to say a big thank you to Sophia and Maria that I can be here, and you make this opportunity for us to be together.
Thank you so much. It was so interesting.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it was so interesting and useful for our usual life. Maybe we will not use this in our professional life, but in real life we will think when we will choose some dresses or some food. Maybe I want to eat maybe this one. This is like green color, and what does it mean? What do I want? Something like that. And thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome. I always like the practical part of something because you will remember the practical things, not the theoretical.
So, Maria?
Yes, I want to say thank you, Naomi, for this really interesting lectures and masterclasses. It's a new experience for us, and I hope we will see you again for another lectures maybe. I think our students hope it too. And I will get to see you again in another meetings or events.
Thank you. I would like to come too. So thank you very much. I have a very good time with you, and it was new for me because these were only the online lecturing, and I have to think of the brands because I don't know which brands do you have in Russia. So it was a hard game yesterday, but we can solve it. Yes. Thank you very much, Maria.
I also want to say thank you, Noemi. It was really very interesting and very exciting. We asked you start from marketing, yes, and for us it is really very important to hear it from you, from Europe view of this subject. In USSR, we haven't got markets, so we haven't got marketing. And now we also needs specialists who are good in this, and we are happy that we can work with you, work together. It is a very great opportunity for our students, and I really want to make another series of lectures and maybe practice on the next year from January. We are open. We can discuss with which sphere, which theses are good and interesting for you and for us too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sophia. We have met just 1 year ago in Miskolc.
Yes.
Anniversary now, next week. Yes.
Yes.
So that we can continue the work. Yes, yes. Sophia and Maria, just think what topic will be good for you. I'm dealing with sales promotion, with digital marketing, with international trade. So we can speak the topic what fits your students better, and I can prepare for it. Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity for me. I'm very grateful to you that we can make it.
So, thank you very much. Thank you, Noemi. Thank you for our students and for my colleagues. I hope we can see each other soon. have a good holidays, New Year Eve and Christmas too. So thank you and bye.
Take care and have a good holidays. And I thank you everything. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.